Guys, welcome to another YouTube video. Today I've got a pretty good one. Gonna take you guys down memory lane a little bit in my trading journey, which I can really hope helps you guys in your trading journeys. And this video is going to be how I actually got my first payout trading. And it's not going to be like other YouTube videos you probably watched or other YouTube videos that I've even made myself, where I'm like, oh, you just gotta, properly risk. You can't go on tilt. You have to just risk the right. No, it's not going to be any of that basic cliche stuff. Although that stuff is helpful and it's plenty of content that I've made before, I'm going to actually dive deep with you guys and helping you understand how I got my first payout. Okay. Now, I started trading 5 years ago now. It's late 2021, early 2022. Give or take that amount of years and stuff like that. And I was pretty bad at it, to be expected. I was not the best at it, just as any beginner trader would not be good at trading. It's a difficult industry. It's difficult to break into. It's difficult to succeed at. So yeah, it's very difficult sometimes to get into the industry, to break into it, to succeed at it. And I was going through all those beginner growing pains. So that's my first kind of word of encouragement here to you guys, is if you are going through those growing beginner pains and stuff like that, in trading, don't be discouraged. I'm full-time at this. I'm successful at this. I went through all and more that you guys are probably going through. I mean, I've blown account after account after account and all this stuff. So look, I get it. It's hard. It's difficult. But anyway, I was working in a warehouse. I was working in fast food places. And I've told this story before, but I had this station in my warehouse. When I worked in my warehouse job, that's when I really knew, hey, I actually want to make this trading journey a thing. I actually want to succeed at trading. I actually want to make this happen when I was working in this warehouse job. Now, the way this warehouse job worked is a lot of time throughout the day, we'd be lifting boxes, we'd be unloading trucks, packing orders and all this stuff. But there was a set amount of time throughout the day where I just had to sit on a little desk in a little station and just kind of make shipping labels and pictures and all that stuff, whatever the warehouse had me do. So with that, I had the opportunity to actually set up my laptop right there and just watch trading content, trade a demo account at 9:30 in the morning every morning. I had the opportunity to fall in love with trading while seeing the job I'm at and saying, you know what, if I really push for this, if I really try to make this happen, I can actually get out of trade. I can actually get out of this job. And it's a blessing because we're here now. But nevertheless, that's not the point of the video. I bought my first funded account in early 2023. My dad helped me out with some Christmas money, all that stuff. My parents were great for me throughout this journey. Little plug for them, blind plug, blind shout out. My parents were great for me during this journey. And I bought my first funded account early 2023. It was a 2-phaser CFD. Futures is popular now. Futures is the thing now. But back when I was learning, all you really had was CFD. They were $500 a pop if you wanted a 100K account. So all I really had was CFD. Phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 passed it in one day. No problem. Okay. I was all excited. I had my strategy. I had what I was doing, but I was still kind of trying to put trading together, and I got high on, the passing that one account, that phase 1. And I was so excited. I was telling my family, holy crap, I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then it's time to do phase 2 the next day. I take a losing trade. Sit there. I'm scratching my head. I'm like, that sucks. Because I didn't really have that lobe developed yet, where it's hey, losing is a part of the game. Losing is going to happen. So you know what I do? Probably as you guys can expect, I go in for more trades. I lose again. I go in for another trade. I lose again. And after my third trade of the day, I'm like, all right, you know what? I just entered my third trade of the day. I'm done after this, regardless of what happens. I remember it so clearly, I got stopped out in 5 seconds. If for some reason the next candle after I entered was just this huge volume spike, bang, stopped out in 5 seconds. I went on tilt at that point. Bang, account blown. The money my dad gave me, a little bit of the money I used from my warehouse job. That's it. Account gone in one day. From there on, I had to buy more accounts. So I worked extra hard at the warehouse. I worked extra hard at doing some DoorDash and some Uber Eats. I picked up some shifts on that so I could, I used birthday money, Christmas money, all that stuff. And I was just buying accounts through all the year 2023. failing after failing after failing. And keep in mind, you guys are privileged and lucky these days that you guys have futures accounts to trade that cost $50. If you fail them, okay, you lost $50. You lost $100. You know, in order for you to, you know, for me, I was failing a CFD account. That's $500 down the drain. In order for you to fail $500 worth of accounts, you'd have to fail like 10 accounts. Think about that. That's how difficult it was for traders a while ago, a long time ago. You guys breaking into the industry now are so blessed and so privileged, you guys have no clue. So take advantage of that. But finally, towards the end of 2023, I finally got an account. And I was like, you know what? I need to make a plan. I need to actually make a plan. I'm not just going to trade this and watch every other YouTuber. I need to actually make a plan. I wish I had a picture of this piece of paper, but I think it got lost in luggage and, you know, moving stuff and all those things. It was a paper I had written out. I wrote out my profit target. I wrote out my daily loss limit, my overall loss limit. I wrote out my consistency rule. I wrote out everything. I wrote out exactly what I'm going to do, how much I'm going to risk, what my risk to reward per trade is going to be. I wrote out when the circumstances are that I'm going to need to close trades, potentially, all this stuff. I wrote it all out. I didn't miss one thing. I wrote it all out. And then what I did, oh man. And then what I did was go to trade the next day. It's a hard story to tell. Go to trade the next day. What do? Take a loss? No problem. Some reason I just can't get myself off the computer. Trade and trade and trade. Bang. Account blown. On my credit card that I had like a little, at the time, a Discover It student card or whatever. Bang. Just loaded up $500 on a new card. On the card. And keep in mind, I was working at a warehouse for like $12 an hour. And maybe picked up some shifts doing Uber Eats and DoorDash. Spending $500 like that, just putting it on my credit card, it actually scared the bajunk out of me. I had no clue what was going to happen. I was like panicking on ChatGPT. Is my credit score going to go down? What's going to happen? I'm scared. I'm nervous. And that is honestly what helped me actually lock in. I went upstairs. I got that piece of paper on it again. And I actually wrote to myself at the bottom. You guys will probably make fun of me, but I was a young kid, barely fresh out of high school. And I wrote, the credit bureaus are going to take everything I have if I don't pass this account and pay it back. I literally wrote that on the bottom of the piece of paper. And I was scared shitless for the next, I don't know how long. So anyway, this is a one-phase account. By now, the company I was using, they migrated over from two-phase accounts to adding one-phase accounts to their repertoire now. So I ended up getting a one-phase account. And you know what? From there, I locked in. Because you know what? I put that pressure on myself to say, you know what? It's this or nothing. My back was against the wall. Okay? What I thought. Now, you guys may be sitting there saying, oh my gosh, $500 on a credit card? Wow. At the time, hear me, I thought my back was against the wall. And I went for it. And I maintained risk. And I risked 0.7 to 1% of my account every single day. Never budged. Took one trade per day. Win, loss, break even. That's it. One trade per day. And I actually was able to lock in. I started going to the gym at the morning and at 6:30 a.m. before the market opened at 9:30 to get my mind, to get my body right. I really got right with God. I was praying and praying and praying. Father, whatever you have in store for me, I accept it. I accept your will. And from there, about a month and a half later, because again, it's a CFD account. Don't fry me. About a month and a half later, I passed the account. I passed it easily too. I didn't go on tilt very much. I maybe went on tilt one day, but it was manageable to the point where I kept the account. I then get my refund because you can pass the account with CFDs and then you get a refund if you pass it. I sent that right to the credit bureau, man. Oh my goodness. But nevertheless, I start up the account. I'm now trading on my payout worthy account. The very next day I wake up for New York session. I take a loss. But guess what? I don't go on tilt. I don't go taking many trades and losing again. I trained myself from before. I wrote down my plan. I detailed everything I needed to do. And I trained my mind and I trained my psychological aspect, my mental and emotional aspect to say, you know what? I don't care if I take a loss. It's okay. It's a part of the game. That's what I did to my mind by writing out everything I needed to write it out. I was able to train myself. I hopped right off the computer. I went to get lunch with like my grandma or something. I don't remember. Come back the next day. I make like $2,500 plus on a trade, profit $1,500 from yesterday's loss. Now, here's the thing. With the firm I was using, it's not really a thing anymore. A lot of you guys won't have the opportunity to do this. I was trading a firm called Funder Pro. It was a CFD firm, 100K account. Daily payouts, no strings attached. I take 80%, they take 20%. No strings attached. No this, and this rule. Oh, in order to take the payout, you got to... No. You make the money, you can withdraw it within 5 minutes. It'll come to your bank account within the very day. And bang, 80 right there for me, 20 right there for them. Daily payouts. That's it. Insane. I received the $1,500 or the $1,300 a little later in the day to my bank account, and I said, holy crap. For 1 hour of work on the trading chart, I just received this. I used to work in warehouses all day. Oh my gosh. But I knew, because I said to myself at the time, you know what? It's all or nothing. I wrote out this detailed plan, and I'm going to make it happen. And that helped me get my first payout. From there, the confidence boosted. I was withdrawing 5K on some days, 6K on some days. The best payout ever was like $9,400 in one day with them. Okay, but I always knew I would get there because I wrote out a detailed plan. I didn't just watch a TikTok influencer say, oh, you got to risk this amount and you're going on tilt. No, I wrote out my own detailed plan, and I help my students with this same detailed plan every single day in my one-on-one mentorship with them. I do it every day. Now, fast forward years later, I've got many accounts, live accounts, CFD accounts, futures accounts, all of it, making well over 5 figures per month. Best month ever, $73,000. And I teach my students, like I said, on a daily basis. Just had a student within her first 3 months total of trading make $7,000 and pass an eval. So it's an absolute blessing. It's absolutely amazing. But I didn't get there by just, blowing it all off, all this cliche stuff. No. I made sure it was this or nothing. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make sure this works. I'm going to put my back against the wall and make sure it's all or nothing for me. I'm going to make it happen. And I wrote out a detailed plan, exactly what I needed to do, exactly what worked for me, exactly what I knew was going to take me to the next level with this. And it did. Okay? That's what you guys have to do. Stop worrying about influencers and all this stuff. Write out a detailed plan. What works for you? What are you going to do here? What are you going to do there? Okay? All this stuff. What are you going to do if price does this? How am I going to avoid tilt? Make all this, fix all this before you even start your evals. That's the problem with you guys. You guys don't create these plans. And that's where I feel like separated me, how I was able to take off on this journey from failing to going crazy to now making $70,000 in a month, is because I didn't buy evals and just try to figure it all out and watch all. No, I made a plan before I purchased my account. I said, you know what? I'm going to make this plan. I'm going to map it all out. And then I'm going to purchase this account and implement this plan. Okay. No football coach sends his players on the field and be like, all right, let me just come up with the offensive and the defensive playbook as they're out here. No, you spend summer after summer making those offensive playbooks, making those defensive playbooks. So when it's actually time to get on the field, you're a master at implementing them. It's the same thing with trading. Create that funded account plan. And that's where I feel like I'm different here, is I'm not telling you all this cliche shit. Oh, buy the account and then just risk 1% and don't go on. No, build the plan before you buy the account. Okay. I love you guys. Peace out. If you're trying to learn from me and get these types of plans and stuff before you buy your funded account, the links are all down in the description. Peace and love to all of you. God bless.